Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us. The very smartly dressed, well, dressed in the same clothes as we were in the last Q&A, pretty much, apart from NJ's not got his jacket on this time, or his glasses. It's the British Fist. I am Mr. Parkin, wearing the same old shirt because I'm a lazy slob. And this is NJ sitting next to me here. Introduce yourself, NJ, with your lovely gimmick.
My name is NJ and what's up?
Indeed. Subscribe up above, guys. Like this video and keep getting your comments, thoughts and opinions on the questions we've answered down in the comment section below.
Make sure you contact us in the description box below.
Yes, indeed, in that description box below. Keep sending us questions, whether it is through YouTube inbox, whether it is through commenting down below, or whether it is through our Facebook, facebook.com/British Fist. We do enjoy answering your questions, and we do want to make sure you keep giving us a stream of questions, because we want to continue this series on for as long as we can. And also, make sure you're patient too, because we have a lot of questions at the moment. I know I say this a lot, but I want to get this point across. We have a lot of questions to get through at the moment, an overwhelming amount, which again, I thank you guys for. So if your question hasn't been answered, it will be answered in a future Q&A, just saying. Should we go on to this Q&A, Andrew?
Let's go for it.
First question comes from a name I can't pronounce. 2J, just a bit 2J. Oh, I got it, fine. Who are your top 5 favourite wrestlers that are still actively performing from any company?
Well, the person that comes to mind is Kane!
One of my favourites at the moment, I've got 2 from TNA, and that is James Storm and Austin Aries. Those are the 2 that I'm really enjoying at the moment in TNA.
I like to see R-Truth.
R-Truth. One for me could be Wade Barrett. I do enjoy watching Wade Barrett. I do also enjoy watching The Miz, even though he's been a bit buried lately from R-Truth. But another guy I do enjoy to watch in wrestling at the moment.
And there's other wrestlers that are starting to get there, like Punk's becoming a huge fan of mine now. Yeah. And even though his booking needs to be better, but there we go.
NJ, Punk is a massive fan of NJ. That's all I can say. It's not the other way around. Punk loves NJ. Ewan Stars asks us a question. Could you see Brodus Clay winning a title soon? Not while they're trying to really enhance his gimmick. I don't see him as winning a title. I just see him as being that entertainment, that's something different on the show, that doesn't really go after titles, that just is there to entertain.
Here is your winner and the new US champion, the Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay. Has a ring to it. But who knows? But no, not yet.
No, I don't see it yet, because he's just so short in his career at the moment, and he hasn't really got over properly yet, so there's no point in really doing it unless he's over and he's in a feud. So, and I don't think they're going to use him in that way, so there we go. Who would you like to see come back full-time this year to the WWE, or anyone coming back to be a host for Raw? I think you have a good answer for this one.
Batista!
WWE are in need of star power at the moment, and a Batista would be a good welcome return back to WWE. From both our perspectives.
It would, and where you keep saying where he left was disappointing, so I think he should come back. He still was the same dominant animal, but just refix his thing he did before he left and just becomes a dominant wrestler again.
Basically, as Cena, you'd think.
Music to my ears.
Music to your ears, John Cena. Damn. The next question comes from James Red Devil 666. I hope that hasn't brought down striking luck unto us. Who had the most coherent promos, Macho Man or the Ultimate Warrior? Well, I will say this. The Macho Man always cut a great promo. Oh, yeah. Has to be Macho Man, because Ultimate Warrior was just like... Argh!
With Ultimate Warrior, we understood him more than Macho Man. We understood him more. His voice was so clear. We know exactly what he was saying. No.
The Macho Man has something to say about that.
There we go. So there's the point. Yes.
You can understand that, guys. And it's not the best impression, but Ultimate Warriors were uncomprehendable. So Macho Man has to get this one. Do you think WWE will ever show any Benoit matches again, or ever acknowledge him and his accomplishments? And will he ever be in the WWE Hall of Fame? They won't ever put him in the Hall of Fame. They won't ever acknowledge his matches. And they won't ever acknowledge his accomplishments because of what he did and the way he did it and the effect it had essentially on the business.
Well, since he's passed away, there's not been much or any Benoit mention or involvement or packaging of that. So I think they're really trying to avoid that now and just concentrate on the other wrestlers that pretty much didn't do the wrong thing.
Yeah, pretty much didn't do the wrong thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my...
Let's just move on to the next question. A very sensitive topic there. Yeah. This is not going to be a sensitive topic. Well, it will be for me, Mr. Parkin. Taco Man Burritos asked probably the best question I've ever had to answer on a Q&A.
Tacos.
How did Mr. Parkin become such a Cody Rhodes mark? NJ, stand aside for a minute. The way, not literally, I just mean metaphorically. Okay then. Basically, the way I became a Cody Rhodes mark was when he basically revealed that old Intercontinental Championship belt at Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and I thought to myself, since then, since he's had the old Intercontinental Championship and his gimmick has really come along leaps and bounds, I really wanted to get behind this guy. And that's why I became such a mark, because I wanted a guy who I could root, and Cody Rhodes to me is that guy I can get behind.
And for a pay-per-view that we didn't have high hopes for, the fact that he did something as big as the IC belt definitely was a big name, and so that he had his own segment for that did big thing for that pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I really want that belt as well. That makes me even more of a mark for Cody Rhodes, because I want that damn IC belt, but it costs like $300 and I can't afford it. Anyway, move on. WWE Lord 420. After all that has happened between Foley and Ziggler, is there any way you guys see Foley screwing Ziggler in his match with Punk at Royal Rumble, leading to a match at Mania, maybe Foley versus Ziggler in a hardcore match? Just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Well, at the time, I know this video has been put out after the Rumble, but we're recording this video before the Rumble, and I think that would be a pretty good sequence of events to get to a Foley-Ziggler feud, have Foley maybe help CM Punk and then do it that way. We've seen signs of the Foley-Ziggler feud possibly happening on that Raw promo, so that would be a nice sequence of events, the way to book that feud, in my opinion.
The way we've got to look at it is that obviously we have Ziggler getting Brody's face, so we need maybe something to continue their feud. Yeah. So Brody get the upper hand, and then gradually build that to WrestleMania, because it would be a great WrestleMania match, as we've said before. Yeah, it would definitely be a great WrestleMania match. I would tune in to watch that match, especially if it puts over Ziggler big, like it did Orton, Edge, Triple H, Rock. So there we go. K.I. Tell Me One. K.I. Tell Me One. Okay, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'm doing that a lot recently. It's those damn YouTube names that people come up with. They're so creative, I can't even say them. Do you think WWE should put more backstage and out-of-arena segments and attacks to hype up feuds better? Like, for example, Austin running over the Rock's car and the throwing off the bridge segment. Well, those segments were back in a time when, you know, they could do those segments and not really worry about them because they were in the Attitude Era, and those were quite usual. I would like to see... I mean, we saw a great one with Barrett and Orton, and we saw some good ones with Kane and Cena. And I enjoyed them, especially that elevator footage. So why not bring them back? Well, the way I see it, backstage is an area that obviously used to be used a lot in the past eras. And again, they added... Yeah, we get backstage segments with mic time and all that. But having more attacks and stuff backstage, I think it would be a lot more good usage and, as you said, hype stuff up. So I think they should probably use that again. It really gives it that brawl element, which is why I like it. You fight backstage, you're brawling, you're fighting. It really does help the feud. So I would like WWE to do. They've been doing them recently, but I'd like to keep doing it, especially to start off a show. That would be a pretty good way of doing it, like TNA did the other week when they started off the brawl backstage. Very true, yes. The next set of questions, and there is a lot of questions here, come from Don't Say 10. Okay, we won't say. Number 10. What are the chances of The Rock beating Cena at WrestleMania 28? Not very much. I don't think there'll be very much. I think with Cena being the company guy and The Rock being the guy outside, sorry to disappoint you, NJ, but I think Cena has to win that. But for a minute, don't say 10. Thank you very much for putting a nice thought in my head for a temporary minute. But at the same time, I think it's basically Rock going to be putting Cena over as the next big top guy and just saying goodbye to the Attitude Era and the era of The Rock and just make it the era of Cena. I would love to... yeah, I know you'd hate that. I would love for The Rock to win, but you know, it would probably have a negative impact on the business because you've got The Rock in, who is way more over than Cena. He's making Cena look a bit like a chump, which was a good thing. It was making you laugh. But in terms of a business, if Cena did lose, it would have a bad impact on business because it tells you that a guy like Rock can just come in out of nowhere and beat your top guy. So, you know, it would be bad for business that way. Rocky! Do you see Triple H beating Taker this year at WrestleMania 28? If not, do you think the streak could be broken by anyone? I would suggest a younger superstar like Cody Rhodes, just saying. Okay, I see what you're doing. Triple H, Cody Rhodes. I see what you're doing. Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't even realise. I see what he's doing. Do you think they could? Do you think Triple H could beat the streak this year if he goes after it? Because it looks like they're penciling it in that way. Taker's last WrestleMania, because obviously I think he's gradually fading out now. Having Triple H be the one to defeat it again, it would add another thing to Triple H. It would add another thing which I don't think Triple H needs because he's done so much. He's got so much pegged on his board, and I think now give it to another wrestler, a younger wrestler, would benefit them more and the future of their career. Like a Wade Barrett, for example. Wade Barrett's big choice. Probably not Cody Rhodes. He's not. Even though I'm a fan, I don't think he's ready for that yet. But that's just me. Number 3. I am an African American. I support my race a ton. But is it me or do blacks always get shitty gimmicks? Or quote-unquote stereotypical gimmicks? Example, JTG robbing and trying to sell stuff backstage, or R-Truth dancing and rapping. Question, Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley. That was but he was boring.
No, but he was a big guy in a dominant role that could have gone somewhere.
It's something that Vince McMahon does, and it's mainly because Vince McMahon, in a lot of people's opinion, is a bit of a racist. And he's given some of the gimmicks are entertaining, but they are very stereotypical, which is kind of a bad thing on WWE's part, in my opinion.
But there are wrestlers that I think are being used in a good way, like R-Truth. Bobby Lashley could have been done better. Zeke became the IC champs. They are using wrestlers that are good, but at the same time, they could be treated a lot better and maybe had more of a positive direction in the WWE.
Or Vince McMahon stop being a southern neck racist. That's all I'll say that. Number 4. Do you see MVP returning soon to WWE? Not now he's with All Japan Wrestling. I don't see him returning to WWE, especially so soon after they released him. So that's a big no from me, even though I'd like to see it.
MVP is a wrestler that, as I've said before, I wanted to see go more further than where he did.
Yeah.
So having him come back, it would be a good talent to have back into WWE, but sadly I don't think the WWE are even considering bringing him back.
True, neither do I. Question number 5. I don't know if you guys remember, but what happened to the Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton feud around the time when they were having the special guest host as the GMs? Well, Orton bitched and managed to get him buried. And a nice Kofi Kingston push came to an end because Orton didn't want him to be pushed and didn't think he was ready.
Kofi Kingston, yes, it's hard for me to see him in the main event, but he's doing great in the mid-card and tag. But, basically Orton moaned about it and knocked him down a few pennies.
Pretty much like Kennedy as well. Same thing. Who do you guys see WWE dropping the ball with in the near future? For example, back in the day it was Swagger. Now he is a jobber. He suggests Daniel Bryan. Do you think Daniel Bryan is the next guy they could drop the ball with?
I don't think. When he loses his belt, I think that's going to be him.
Same here. I think I agree with you. I think as soon as he loses that belt, he's going to go back down to mid-card and he'll never be the same, in my opinion.
But other wrestlers they could drop the ball with, again, they've got to be careful with certain wrestlers they're bringing back in.
Sheamus. I don't want him to drop the ball. I want him to get into a feud or win the Royal Rumble. I don't want him to drop the ball with Sheamus.
Wrestlers that go up against like Cena and Orton, obviously you have to watch out for them.
Wade Barrett.
Yeah,
watch out.
Very true, there's no choice.
Where is the so-called Tough Enough winner at? You mean Kevin Hackman, Andy Levine? Well, as you know, on my channel, I review FCW, and he's still lurking down there. Very awkward in the ring, I'll say that, and not exactly impressing me a bunch. I still think the other guy should have won. Not that we watched Tough Enough, but we did see that episode of Raw where they were both on there, and I do feel the other guy should have won, as he did have a better look about him.
That's the thing, they had the Tough Enough winner appear on Raw, and then after that, he does that involvement with Austin, gets Stone Cold Stone by Austin, and then he just disappears off to FCW, which is kind of a shame, but he's just not ready.
Yeah, he needs a good couple of years in FCW, in my opinion, by the way I've seen him. Anyway, we'll move on. Anton WS888. Do you think that when Christian returns, he'll be put back in the Worldwide title run? And what are your opinions on Christian as a performer in general? As a performer, very good wrestler, very good all-round wrestler, not stiff in the ring like some people on. But I don't see him being put back in that Worldwide Championship picture unless they need to put him in an Elimination Chamber or something like that.
Christian, again, he's had good matches against Orton. Yes, Orton may have got the upper hand, and Sheamus got the upper hand in the feud.
Yep.
But the way I see it is that Christian could come back and start demanding his one more match and all title match and that. But I think, even if he does come back, I don't think he'll go back into the title picture. I think it will just come a strong mid-carder.
I think WWE might just make up one more match, kind of like they made that Your Future Endeavour shirt for Dynamite United. But anyway, we'll move on. Good performer overall, just maybe in that position where he should really be putting mid-carders over, like for example a Daniel Bryan, in my opinion. What do you think is the future for Evan Bourne now he's been slapped with his second suspension for failing the WWE wellness policy, and what do you think this means for Kofi? I think it means the end of Air Boom. It means that Evan Bourne will probably get fired, maybe he'll leave. Under his own circumstance. For Kofi Kingston, it will mean he'll get a bit buried unless they put him in the mid-card. But he's been in there so much now that it's kind of just like, well, you've got to do something different with the guy.
Well, the first thing I said about Evan Bourne is that even though he's fired from WWE, maybe other promotions will give him a chance and give him a run there. Kofi Kingston, I'm thinking there's been rumours that he's going to be probably put within a tag team. So maybe there's a chance that his career will still be on a movement.
Why do you think the WWE are blaming Zack Ryder for the ratings drop? Of all people, you would be thinking that he's helping ratings in this PG era. Well, he was, when he was US champ, he got a good reaction from the internet fans, but the internet fans aren't casual fans, and what the internet wants isn't necessarily what the majority want. The problem with Zack Ryder was that he was involved in that bad main event, and they're not going to want to blame their Worldwide champ, the guy they put the Worldwide champion on, and CM Punk, so they're going to put the blame on Ryder. And he recently had that slump, a massive slump in viewers in the main event slot, which didn't help his cause either.
Oh, Zack Ryder, I love you. I want to go for the US Championship now.
You're not an internet fan then.
No, I think you should have stuck to WWE, never went. Maybe you should have stuck with a tag team. The fact he went to the US, yes, it was a step up in his career, but I don't know. Maybe he is partly to blame, but he's still a wrestler that people got behind and liked.
Yeah, I think just the internet fans in general who like him have maybe overrated him a bit too much to the point where WWE have thought he could be a draw, when actually he wasn't really that much of a draw, but that's just my opinion. We'll answer one more set of questions before we leave this Q&A. Number one, who is the bigger joke, Santino or Eric Young? I think that says it all, doesn't it, Eric Young?
Yeah, he's a bit of a joke. He's getting involved in things he shouldn't get involved with. He's just not funny. He makes us chuckle, but nothing as funny as Santino.
No, Santino has got that Cobra thing. We better put our Cobras away. Number two, your thoughts on the Mick Foley versus Kane match at WrestleMania 28, considering their past history between each other when Kane first arrived? No, I don't think that match should be done. I really don't see the point in having two old... In terms of like Mick Foley going against a Kane, I'm not really sure what the appeal would be there.
I like the fact you think of Kane's future. I give you a thumbs up for that, but Mick Foley should now be putting on younger stars than Kane over.
Should be. Number three, what if your boy Cody Rhodes and Kane formed a tag team together? Well, first thing, me and NJ would be even closer friends because you'd have Kane and Cody Rhodes in a tag team, and that would be freaking awesome, wouldn't it, NJ? You said, take into consideration, if Rhodes is still wearing his mask and the current mask Kane, both cut similar promos, slow but impactful and true. Also, they both laugh sinisterly after a promo. A good idea for a tag team feud, but they're better off as singles wrestlers. But I like the idea. That would bring the British Fist even closer than we already are, wouldn't it?
That would be an awesome tag team, because obviously the way Kane's going, he's got a monster gimmick, and the way Cody's going, he's getting moved up. It would be a big tag team, temporary tag team, because I don't think they'll stay together. No. But again, it's a good tag team, but again, a singles career, go for it, go higher, do what you need.
Yeah, they definitely need to go higher in their singles careers, not keep flourishing in the tag team division. Well, that's been another Q&A. Thank you again for sending us more questions, guys. Man, you look like a meerkat when you did that, MJ. Ooh, I'm ready for attention here. Make sure you keep getting your opinions and thoughts down in the comment section below. Keep sending your questions in to us as well, as we do enjoy answering your questions, as MJ will accentuate in this next segment and outro of the video.
Well, thank you for being part of this Q&A with me, Dan. It's very good that we're worked together in this Q&A.
Cody Rhodes and Kane.
Oh, yeah! Until next time, people, goodbye.